We're happy to have Ruth Bergman with us. She's the Director of Education at the Holocaust Memorial Center. We are so lucky to have such an incredible place here in the West Bloomfield area. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's been a really tough time for so many museums such as yours and centers. You're back open to the public now, but how does that look?
So, yes, we are back open. We've been open since the end of July. You can go to our website, holocaustcenter.org, and you can purchase tickets. We are fully open, and we have our core exhibit and our special exhibit on the capture and trial of Adolf Eichmann called Operation Finale. And you can also learn all about our programs and events that we're holding online. So we have a lot going on in our museum.
And when it comes to the public coming in, do they have to buy those tickets prior and are only so many issued per day?
So we do have timed tickets, and we do encourage people to purchase the tickets online in advance. If we are not at our capacity and you are a walk-in, we will gladly welcome you in, but buying a time ticket is best. And we are limiting our visitorship in terms of half-hour increments, but anyone who wants to come, we will accommodate you and find a way to make your visit enjoyable and as safe as we possibly can.
I know one of your missions at the center is to educate and to engage the public to let them know about the Holocaust and the background of it. September, this just last month, there was a study that came out that showed that among adults under 40, they didn't understand what the Holocaust was. And I'm just wondering, when you hear something like that, I mean, 63% of adults under 40 didn't understand or did not know that over 6 million people were killed during this time. When you hear things like that, how upsetting is it to understand that the newer generation is not immersed in our history and the the path that we need to go forward and why it's so important to know these things?
Well, in 2016, a mandate was passed in Michigan requiring Holocaust education between 8th grade and 12th grade. It'll be very interesting in a few years to see how those numbers will be changed. In other words, the numbers of these sorts of studies based on the education. But we have workshops where we teach teachers how to teach the Holocaust, and we teach teachers throughout the entire state of Michigan. We have 65,000 visitors a year who come to our museum, including over 35,000 school children. So we are doing everything in our power to engage and educate students and adults about the Holocaust.
Joining us on the program today is Ruth Bergman. She is the Director of Education at the Holocaust Memorial Center in the local area here with us today on the program. And Ruth, with the times that we're in right now, not necessarily as severe of oppression is happening around the world as we saw during the Holocaust in Germany and in other German nations at that time, particularly to people of Jewish descent. But there are still these atrocities that are going on throughout the world. For example, what continues to happen to people of Armenian descent in Europe as well. How important is it, with the context of what's going on right now, for people to learn about the Holocaust to better understand these world issues that are similar, albeit maybe not on as large of a scale as what happened in Germany?
Well, that's a really great question. It's vitally important to understand the Holocaust. The Holocaust was unprecedented, and unfortunately, it served as a blueprint for a lot of what we see going on in other countries today. The lessons that we learn, the idea that people make choices, that people need to stand up and speak out when they see something in their society that bothers them, the idea of helping others and seeing the humanity of people, even people who are different from you, people whose ideas you don't even understand. Those are the lessons of the Holocaust. And it's important now, more important now than ever, that we continue to teach these lessons. And when you come to our museum, you can learn all about them. And we will, we just keep teaching this lesson every day.
And with that lesson comes the opening of our hearts to understand, as you just mentioned, people from different backgrounds, different faiths, so that we can all become one. I wonder, so many museums and nonprofits have suffered so greatly during COVID-19 because when your doors are closed, it's been hard to get out your message and to do fundraising. Have you all turned to virtual to try to compensate for some of that?
Well, we do have many programs now and events that are online, and we invite you to go to our website. Again, that's holocaustcenter.org, where you can learn all about our online programming and sign up for our events. And we are slowly putting various parts of our exhibit online as well. So those people who can't visit or who want to get a little preview before they visit can do so. But we are always teaching about the Holocaust, whether we do so virtually or in person.
For those who have never been to the center, what is the one exhibit or the one area that you really want them to see? Because I know time is a limit now, and crowds, people don't want to be in crowds. So if we go to the center for the very first time and I only have so much time, which exhibit should I see?
Oh wow, that's hard because they're all important.
It's like, just
And
come back
you
every
can,
week.
that's right. Well, you absolutely can. There's no reason why you have to think that you can come, just once. We invite people to return, and very often we have students who come on school trips and then they come back with their families. So that's absolutely something that can be done. Our goal is to teach empathy and tolerance towards others, and understanding that at the end of the day, we're all human and we all need to support each other and be here for each other. So whether you're looking at our Jewish heritage section, which talks about life for the Jews in Europe before the war, or you're looking at the dangers of propaganda, or looking at the end of the war, we have a whole section on the righteous and the people who did stand up and did try to help others. Every section of our museum is critical, and wherever you start, you will have a worthwhile visit to our museum.
How has fundraising been for you during this pandemic?
Well, we always need people's support. So whether it's support through coming to our museum and purchasing tickets, or becoming a member, or supporting us in any way that you can, we need, to continue to teach our lessons. Obviously, fundraising is important, and the support of the community and visiting us is really, really important.
Joining us today on the Oakland County Megacast is Ruth Bergman. She is the Director of Education at the Holocaust Memorial Center. Ruth, before we let you go here in a couple of minutes, just curious, for those that maybe aren't comfortable coming back to the physical museum, are there virtual learning experiences that are available currently through the Holocaust Memorial Center?
We do have some virtual experiences. We certainly have our events, and all of our programming are now online, and we have some great events that are coming up. We have various pieces of our special exhibit on the capture and trial of Adolf Eichmann that are online right now. And there are, if you just go and explore our website, you will see all the different things that you're able to learn about online.
I understand you have a gala coming up. Can you give us some information on that?
Well, it is our 36th annual benefit, and it is going to be on Sunday, November 15th. And you can learn more about that on the website as well. And again, it is a wonderful way to support our museum and learn about who we are and all the wonderful things that we do.
I have to wonder, how do you plan a gala in the middle of a pandemic?
Well, it's going to be a virtual gala. It's obviously not going to be in person, but the message that we impart, our goal of engaging, educating, and empowering by remembering the Holocaust Holocaust is still important. And whether we do that virtually or we do it in person, we are always here teaching these important lessons. And it will be virtual and it will be amazing.
Virtual is our new way of learning everything these days as well. And while it's not quite as touching as that in person experience, it has been a viable substitute to continue to get your message out, I would imagine.
Absolutely. And we have taken all of our in-person teacher workshops and we have put them online. And we have been working with teachers the way we worked with them in person. It's just a little bit different, but our goals, our objectives are the same, and we make it work.
Quickly, before we let you go, we try to ask everyone, what's the one positive do you think came out of this pandemic for you and your organization?
I think it has really shown us how we can expand what we do much more in terms of the virtual world, the audiences that we're able to reach by doing things virtually, and that when we need to pivot, we can pivot. But we all have to be witnesses to the Holocaust and remember, especially as our survivors are aging. And that mission is what drives us. So whether it means changing to do things more virtually, then we do that. But we absolutely want to continue our mission, whether we do it online or we do it in person or any other way that we can reach our audiences.
We've all learned to be better technology wise and on social media. And we've all become, I think, our own movie makers during some of this. So that's been great as well. Well, we appreciate having you, Ruth Bergman, with us. She is the Director of Education with the Holocaust Memorial Center. Find out more, holocaustcenter.org. You have an amazing establishment center over there in the West Bloomfield area. It's great to have such a beautiful tribute to the survivors and that period of time in our own backyard. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. And I again invite all of you to come visit us. We're right down the street at Orchard Lake Road and 12 Mile. And we look forward to seeing you in our museum.